Hello everyone! My name is Anastasia and you have stumbled upon my channel. This is episode 2 of a 100 days Minecraft challenge, but I'm interdimensional vampire. And if you haven't seen part 1, it's right here. Please go watch it because there's so much that happened in the last part, so I don't want you missing out on anything. And again, if you really like this content, please show me some love in the comments, leave a like, or even subscribe, because it makes me motivated and makes me want to make these kind of videos, so yeah. Anyways, without further ado, enjoy! This is day from 17 to 19. The failure. As you can see, I'm back in the Twilight Forest and now I am collecting blood in a little bottle so I can save it for later. Aside from that, I really enjoy killing the wildlife. Anyways, we have stumbled upon the Leech Tower, which is the next boss we have to beat. Unfortunately, he's not going to be as easy as Naga, so it's gonna be just a bunch of dying. When I got into the tower, no mobs attacked me, besides the books. So the books are the ones I have to be concerned with for some reason. But besides the books, there was also a witch, and at that point it was a battle for life or death. And of course I lost. I looted the chest and then decided to take everything this castle has to offer. I knew I would need books later on, so I took them too. So after exploring the castle for quite a while, according to my calculations, it was day 17. So I decided to finally beat the boss. Or should I say, I let it beat me. So after these unfortunate events, I fled again, like a coward. But of course, even after leaving the tower, I couldn't be left alone. No. And of course, when I thought I was finally safe, that happens. And of course, with 3 losses in my packet, I went back to the first boss that I've beat, and I collected some cool stones for the future builds. On my way back, I saw this cool island, and I decided to go check it out, but it wouldn't let me. When I finally got back home, I grabbed all the cool blocks I gathered and I started building a shrine. Now this shrine isn't going to be just a useless thing. The shrine is actually going to help me level up as a vampire, which is a crucial part in this mod. But even after building the shrine, I still needed a few more things, like gallons and gallons of blood. Ooh, remember the Naga scales from the last episode? So I figured out how to make armor from them, and I did that. But anyways, I got a thing I needed for the shrine in order for me to level up, and now we're going to do that. Remember how I said I needed lots and lots of blood? Well, there it is. So I found these turtles nearby who later are gonna be my blood turtles because they never leave. And I just started sucking blood out of them. But even then it wasn't enough, so I decided to do the next logical thing. Give up and move on. So I started making a backpack to carry all the blood around. Hehe. After having quite a chunk of blood on my hands, I just ran out of turtles. So I traveled a bit through the jungle to find some other animals I could bite. Unfortunately, the sun was coming up, and the sun means dangerous, so I had to run back and hide. I loaded the altar with all the blood I had, and it still wasn't enough. Remember those roots I was telling you about? Well, you can make an album with them, but I'm clearly not doing it right because you actually have to smell them first. And after that, it was actually day 20, which I call Guess Who's Back. Because we are going back to the Twilight Forest and we are gonna beat Naga once again. I'm also gonna gather a lot of resources because mines here are actually way easier than the ones in the overworld. Remember the blue backpack I made? Yeah, I completely forgot to grab it when I needed the most. After being in the mine for quite some time and not getting anything besides some golden nuggets, I decided to explore the upper layers of this dimension. And of course, because the chest didn't give me anything good, I decided to take something for myself, and I took the iron ladder. And I saw another Naga maze, which means I'm gonna have to fight it again. But before that, I actually wanted to load up with blood, because for some reason around bosses, mobs spawn so much. And here I go again into the Naga maze. I actually found the best technique for beating this boss. So basically, it's gonna attack you at some point with like a super attack, and all you have to do is just use your shield, and then it just hits its head on your shield and goes unconscious for a few seconds. Look, see? And this time around, I got so many more scales for some reason. And you know what I wanted to do after this? Yes, I wanted to beat another one. So I found another maze and beat another Naga. At this point, I just stocked up on blood in order to level up and headed home. And then an amazing idea has crawled into my mind to bite a wolf. Yeah. Oh yeah, remember the well from the first episode? Well, there's actually a bigger one that does have a chest on it, so I was just looking for a wrong one. After I finally got home with all of this amazing stuff, it was time to do the ritual. But I actually decided to go for round 2 and see if I can level up once more. And once more. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough blood for the third time, but I have unlocked really cool skills! So I now have night vision and regeneration, and if I level up one more time, I can actually turn into a bat and fly around. Now we are moving on to day 21, which is called One Step Closer, because here I'm going into the nether to get some blaze rods. after traveling and traveling and traveling, I found the fortress. Then I built a little safe area for myself to efficiently get the blaze rods without them flying away and stuff, you know? And then I got to killing. So after I felt like I had enough blaze rods, it was time for me to build a little bridge all the way to my portal. I want to have it later on for safer travels. While I'm building this, I want to answer a frequently asked question: how do I know when it's new day when I'm in a dimension that doesn't exactly show the time? Well, a day and night in Minecraft lasts about 20 minutes, so on my OBS I just look when it's 20 minutes and I stop recording. After that, I just go into the folder where the video was saved and title it as the number of the day. Anyways, I have finally finished building the bridge, so it's time to go home. It is now day 22 and I'm gonna title it Back Again because I am back to try to beat the boss. There was of course a first part of the day where I basically did nothing and just traveled to this dimension, but I decided not to include it because there's nothing to see there. After I died just one more time, I came back and the leech finally didn't have any armor, which means that I can easily beat this guy now. After finally beating the boss, he didn't really drop anything that special. He dropped some sort of staff, but I genuinely never learned how to use it. Anyways, after coming home, I finally decided to build myself an underground house, as I can't stay out in the sun anymore. It was now day 23 and I just spent the day building a house. Day 24, I spent doing the exact same thing. Aside from building a house, I also made an enchantment table. And I made armor out of live roots. Well, don't I look stylish? On day 25, I found a village, but don't be mistaken, this is not day 25. This is actually day 26, because day 25 was just boring. So I sucked out all of the blood out of all of these villagers and decided to make this my village. The Iron Golem was upset with me for some reason, but it really didn't stop me from doing my mischief. And yes, even the kid, yes. So on day 27, when I finally connected enough blood, it was time to level up. After I leveled up, I could finally turn into a bat, so that was the first thing I did. Unfortunately, this whole blood level up thing wouldn't work anymore, and I actually needed a different altar. But I decided to say screw it for now and head into the Twilight Forest once more. I found this huge bump in the ground, and apparently it was a really cool mine with a bunch of stuff in it. But with all the good things come the bad things, and there were goblins in this mine, and they were evil. After that I wanted to go check out some new biomes, but of course they were restricted for me for now. So the next thing I had to do is beat one of the other bosses. So I did the most logical thing to do and I beat Naga once more. found another bigger mine. And then I have stumbled upon the next boss. So after preparing for quite a while for this boss, because I thought he was gonna be super hard, I went into the battle. And you know what? It's a shame to admit, but this guy like hit me once or twice and then just died. It was literally easier than the Naga. So after finding the way out of this cave, I was absolutely baffled by how easy it was. So I just went home with a feeling of defeat even though I won. Ha! Joke's on you, I actually want to beat another boss, the Hydra. And this boss was actually really hard because I kept on dying and dying and dying. And the worst part is, every time I died, it would heal itself. But then after a long battle, I finally beat it. After going home, I decided to move my house into the cave house, as I really can't stay out in the sun anymore, so the cave was my only option. I went to use the bathroom as I was moving my stuff, and apparently I got killed by a spider when I got back. So then I did a little bit of decorating and actually arranged in my chest by blocks, miscellaneous items, important items, and like craft tools. And then for some absolutely unknown reason, I decided to make a wheat farm. And then remember how I said in the first episode that I will need an animal farm because I need a source of blood. So there it is, my first 2 sheep. After decorating my house, I made some really cool tools and I found this guy. Now, what this guy does, I'll tell you in just a second. So this little man is a portal holder or a gatekeeper, whichever you like the most. The point is, he has a portal to a new dimension. On this note, this is day 31, Interdimensional Vampire Part 2. In this world, my iron tools didn't work as well for some reason, so I needed new tools. Luckily, by finding the village, I had a hint on what kind of tools I needed, and it was apparently some turquoise stone. But then I found this huge magical tower. And for some reason, I couldn't break anything in it. Stumbled upon a witch and I thought, oh, this is the wizard, so when I kill the witch, I'm gonna be able to break stuff and take it home. But that wasn't the case. But then I found a dungeon key and it gave me an achievement, 1 down, 3 to go. So I needed 4 keys for some reason. Unfortunately, I made a huge mistake because after I found 4 keys and I beat the boss, I realized that I didn't record a huge chunk of this Let's Play. At this point, it was actually day 32 already. So there it is, I killed the summoner. Basically, all you have to do is activate the 4 keys, there's gonna be a lock, and it's gonna teleport you to a place where you have to defeat this guy. After that, I went to the village and got some turquoise stones in order to make a portal for myself at my house. And then I found a cave in which there were only 2 kinds of ore spawning, a moonstone and this really weird red one. I was under the impression that you use those red stones to build the next portal, and I mined quite a huge chunk of it, but unfortunately it turned out to be completely useless. This is now day 33 and I am building my own portal. And then I saw this guy Zen and thought, why does he have a name? And I killed him, so he dropped some vampire blood. I'm not exactly sure what to do with it yet. Then I realized I don't really have enough space in my house, so I decided to add another room. Unfortunately, this is the end of this episode of my 100 days challenge. If you like this video, please interact with it in some way. Leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Anastasia, and I'll see you later.